Previously on the Crenshaw Corner.
Whatever.
Typically, the town handyman, one of the three, he gonna
bruh,
be.
Whatever.
You know, he breaks down her guard. You know, and then at the end, you know, she has to make a choice: does she go back to the big city, or does she stay in the small town? You know, those movies.
Then my husband like old ex wrestlers.
What? No, it's
Gone movie.
It's not really ex wrestlers.
Gone movie stars.
It's the. Well, hello there, family.
What's up?
I didn't see you there.
Hi guys.
And welcome back to another edition of the Crenshaw Corner.
Not edition. You better
Edition.
be fancy.
I am your host, Sanchez Crenshaw, and as always, I am joined by the absolute best part of my day.
That's me, guys.
The apple of my eye.
I am.
The wind beneath my wings. The rib that completes me. The rose to my jack. You just gonna keep going.
I was still lifting you up.
Well, we done with the lifting up part.
But I wasn't done.
We done.
Who you want me to do?
You are the rose to my jack.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to my Okay, who
Did
is
you
Jill?
really just say Jack
I
and Jill?
did. Who is Jack and Rose?
Rose and Jack, man.
Stop.
She was an aristocrat. He was of common class.
No. First of all, stop saying it like if you say it again.
What?
I'm gonna know it.
Because you
Rose
should.
and Jack.
Actually,
That
you
doesn't
should.
help me like know it because you say
Actually,
it again.
everyone in the world knows Rose and Jack.
I
She was an aristocrat.
don't know.
He was of common folk. Their love was quick yet tragic. It happened over a journey. They fell in love over a journey.
Is this Harlem Nights? Because you said quick. So I was thinking of it.
I'm gonna revoke every card you have right now.
Okay. No.
Every culture card you have
Okay.
is being revoked. No, it's not Harlem Nights, man.
Over a journey.
Yeah, they fell in love on a journey.
On a journey.
It was a tragic journey, but it was a journey nevertheless.
Is this Gilligan's Island? No, I promise
Oh,
you.
Lord, you got my head hurting.
I'm not trying to be. I'm
You got
so
my
serious
head
right now. You know I'm so
hurting.
serious. I don't know these people, so when I'm taking these context clues like
There
tragic and all that. I'm trying to bring it
not
together.
A rose and or a jack nowhere near the island of Gilligan.
Well, I only remember. Hold on, Gilligan, the professor.
Oh Lord, is we really doing this? Is Gilligan the skipper too?
Okay.
The millionaire,
Okay, and his wife. Uh-huh.
the movie star, the professor and Mary Ann here on Gilligan's Isle.
Thank you.
But that's not what I'm discussing.
So then that's
right
not what we're discussing.
now.
Great.
What I'm discussing right now
is Rose and Jack.
Rose and Jack.
Give
It was a love triangle.
Would you like
There was another aristocrat in Jack's way.
I'm gonna do like they do the spelling bee. Can you put that in another form, please?
They hit an iceberg. An iceberg ended their love.
Titanic.
Yes, man.
Oh my
Titanic.
God, babe, are you serious?
I'm so dead serious. 95% of our audience right now is screaming, Titanic, how do you not know?
No,
there
they're
was
not.
room on the board. She just didn't let him on.
No,
Jack could have lived too.
First of all, I've never seen Titanic. Number one, the closest
crazy.
that I've been to Titanic is when we went to Vegas. And remember, they had the Titanic exhibit,
yeah.
which was super cool, actually.
But that's not what I'm discussing. I'm discussing
And
the
the
movie.
fact I know, but the fact that in the inside of the boat, whatever, in certain areas it was cold.
Yeah,
It was super cool.
yeah, it was.
I don't know, but I don't know these people that you speak of.
It was a little creepy though. It was a little creepy.
But I don't know these people you speak of.
Rose and Jack, man.
Well, now I know. Hey, Rose. What's going on,
That's
family?
crazy.
What is going on, guys? I am Angelou Crenshaw, guys. What
That's
is
my wife, family.
going on?
Family, that's my wife.
have never watched Titanic. Titanic. So,
Well, you know
family,
what?
if you have an attitude about it, I love you. I'm sorry if they say it's the best love story and death story and all that. I don't want to watch that,
Actually, you know what?
especially when it's 5 hours.
Does it? First of all, Titanic is not 5 hours.
How many hours?
It's 3.5.
2 months.
It's not 5.
Who I don't want to invest my time in that.
But also, and actually, you know what? It's not even your fault. That's my fault.
His name not Jack?
No.
His name not Rose?
It is Rose. It is Jack.
Okay.
It is Titanic. Mm-hmm. It is one of the greatest cinematic love stories.
Wow.
Let some people tell it. Mm-hmm. However, though, next time I will talk about a writer and a prince. Or an editor and a prince.
Yeah, all my Lifetime movies. Thank you.
Or a baker and a prince.
Can you please? Thanks.
Or a soccer mom
and
who
a prince
went through a divorce and a prince.
And a prince.
Yeah, so next time I'll just name a prince
don't want people to know that he's a prince.
They don't want people to know
so
he's a prince.
Live a normal life
because he just wants a common. He just wants a
common
life.
Right.
But his mom ain't gonna let him have a common life.
Right.
And then she gonna intervene, and then she gonna down talk the girl who gonna leave. Because it's the best course for her future prince, and then he gonna turn on his mama, and he gonna tell his mama, "Well, you got a buck tradition," and then
hello?
he gonna leave and go get her. Yeah,
sir. Don't hate on my movies. My movies are amazing.
That's the plot of all of them.
My movies are amazing.
It is 37 different Prince movies, and that's the plot of all of them.
I'm just saying, it's a great movie.
Family, hello, how we doing?
Hi guys.
So sorry about that.
He not sorry,
as
y'all.
always, my wife went on a little.
Nope.
She's known to go left.
No, he went
from time
all
to
the
time.
way left.
So family, welcome.
Jealousy made him do that, y'all.
What am I jealous of?
My movies, my movie picks.
Wow.
Don't hate my. You two can have good movie picks, bro. You don't have to be like all upset about my movie picks, though.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
before we continue, first base.
Yeah.
You would have to first select a good movie.
Right.
Before you can say I'm jealous of your good movie picks.
Jealous.
You haven't selected a good movie.
Did you get a range in my voice, bro?
There was no range. There was no range. There was a dying coyote, but there was no range. But you haven't selected a good movie since 1936.
Are you still talking to me about this
I'm
movie,
just
dude?
saying.
I'm just saying. I'm not
Family.
I'm not just come on, house clean,
Welcome.
player. House clean.
Family, welcome.
Hi guys.
So happy you're here.
We are.
So glad you're listening.
Yes, Lord.
Whether this is your first time
Bless your heart.
or your 100th time,
Come on now.
we're so happy you're here.
How many episodes?
We're in 220 something, 230s. It's the mid twos. It's the mid twos. Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
It's a lot of episodes.
A lot of
So
episodes.
family, we thank you for listening. However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com.
Come on now.
We thank you so much for listening.
That's nice.
As always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, all under the Crenshaw Corner.
Yes.
And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Yes. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com.
Yay.
Now, babe, before we actually start the actual real
I have
conversation.
something to say too. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, you go first. Because I have a little kind of I got to get on my soapbox for a moment and I got to rant. But I want you to go first.
Thank you. You're so polite.
No
Thank
problem.
you so very much.
Talk to me.
I was just thinking, when we were talking about how many episodes we had.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just wanted to explain to the new family, because we love you guys so much, and thank you guys so much again for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can definitely become family by listening to us again and again, and inviting some people, and then your family. Bring a friend, and it's a family. But what I do want to say to you, some of our listeners who've been listening to us from the beginning, because we love you guys so much. Just want to explain something to you guys. There will be times that we will throw throwbacks out there for you. And the reason why, because we have new family members coming in who may not have heard it or don't want to go back 100
some odd episodes
back. So every now and then we'll throw a throwback. I guess we can say throwback at you guys.
Re-release an episode or two.
And what is it again?
Re-release an episode or two.
He's so educated. Release. Anyway, and so I just want to say that to our family members who's been with us from the beginning. We do that for the new members who have maybe never even heard of the Crenshaw Corner or what we do. So we throw those back out there so they can get an opportunity to hear those as well, versus going so far back. Right. So I just wanted to put that out there. Cool. Now, why are you on your soapbox?
I'm going to rant for a moment.
How long this gonna take though, baby?
It's not gonna take long, I promise.
Okay, you got 1
'Cause
minute.
I don't have. Well, it's gonna take more than a minute.
No, babe, no.
Because I don't have a lot in me. Family, I just this is more of a public service announcement. Not so much as a rant.
Okay.
But I synced something.
Are you synced?
I synced something the other day.
Okay.
I was traveling a longer journey, and I was on this particular road in our local area.
Come on now.
And I synced something that I had never.
I already know what you're about to say.
That I never thought I'd see in my life.
Goodness, baby.
So I passed a wooded area. It was a wooded area along the local highway that I was traveling. And I happened to look to my right of my vehicle, out of my peripherals. And out of my peripherals, I saw a coyote. Now, in the area that we're in, coyotes have become prominent.
That's crazy.
In our area,
started happening.
It's because their natural habitat. People building them houses and condos and apartments,
taking off their space.
So
absolutely,
they're trying to find somewhere to go. So they become a little more prominent in public areas. So I saw one, and he was terrified, and he was on the road. And first of all, seeing a coyote during the day, it's kind of odd for me. But he was a single coyote. He was by himself.
He didn't have a date.
He didn't have a date. He was by himself.
Okay.
He was dolo.
He was dolo.
He was dolo.
Dolo.
And I haven't said that in years. He was dolo.
Age yourself, bro.
I did age myself. But he was in a stance that it obviously that he was frightened
and minding his business.
My God. And the reason that he was frightened and minding his business is because a pedestrian just decided to get out their car, roll up on a wild animal, and just start taking pictures of it.
Can y'all please stop it?
Leave these animals alone.
Leave them.
Every animal is not domesticated. Every animal is not for a human to just wall up on and just start taking pictures. Now, if the wild coyote would have bit her ankle off.
See, I said ear. Okay, go ahead, ankle.
Now the coyote got to be put down when the coyote was just minding his business.
In his area.
In his life.
In his neighborhood.
Here is the moral of the story.
Ooh, there's a moral.
People leave wild animals alone.
Please.
Everything ain't cute and cuddly.
No, it's not.
The dude thought bears was cute and cuddly too, and he went out in the wilderness and lived with them until they ate him.
Ooh.
So,
thanks, babe.
Moral of the story. People, leave the wild animals alone. That's all I had to say.
That was nice.
Yeah, this is a little odd episode, but baby, what we talking about?
Listen, so here's the situation. It's just a simple conversation, because that's what happens. We normally just have simple conversations anyway, but this is really a simple conversation. I want to understand why people keep arguing with other people about who they are.
Ooh.
Which means if someone shows you who they are, stop telling them that's not who they are and telling them that they're wrong after they showed you time and time again who they are. Why as people do we have a hard time believing that people are just a certain way, right? And that's just who they are, versus thinking that we can change them, or this is not really who they are, and we keep giving them 3 and 4 and 5 chances to be something else that they just cannot be, if that makes sense, right? So
yeah, it actually makes perfect sense.
I'm curious on your thoughts on that, because I've been seeing that lately around me, and I'm like, respect, this is who they are, respect them and move forward.
That reminded me of a video I saw on the Tickety Talks.
On the who?
On the Tickety Talks.
Okay, cool.
I showed it to you. You said you had seen it before, but there's a gentleman and I thoroughly enjoy his content. Don't know his name. I happened to come across him.
Jeff?
I have no idea, and gotcha. I apologize for that. He does different things. Like there was this one where it was raining. He had walked out in the rain. He stood there, and then he ran back under cover, and he used it as an analogy of how people don't walk out on faith, because as soon as they experience a little adversity, then they run back to shelter.
Old.
Yeah, they run back to the old. They run back undercover, and they don't go through the rain to get to the other side, because going through the rain is the faith walk, but it's uncomfortable to go through the rain. And it's a beautiful analogy. But what you were just referring to reminded me of one that I saw he did, where he was sitting by his car and he had a laundry basket, and the laundry basket was the old fashioned laundry basket with the holes in it. And he had a water hose, and he was using a water hose to fill up the basket. And his friend was like, "Yo, man, what are you doing? You know, why are you doing that? All the water's running out." And he said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, "But this is what people do to people. A person will show you all their flaws. A person will show you who they are. A person will show you, you know, that what you're pouring into is not being reciprocated, it's not being received. And yet you spend all your time pouring into this person, and you're depleting yourself pouring into a person trying to change their flaws when they don't want to, when they don't want to change their flaws.
And they can't replenish.
And they can't replenish you. And you brought that up. And I think a lot of the times it's, to be honest, I think a lot of the time it's selfish.
Okay.
I think we don't want to recognize a person's flaws is because we personally need them in our lives for some reason, for whatever the reason is. It is a selfish reason that we want this person, whether it's they bring something to our life, whether or not we're too scared to move on in our life, or there's a need there.
Okay.
Or even it's the Superman syndrome, where we just want to save you. We just want to save a person. So we don't want to accept who they are. If the person's immature, you can't fix that. You can't change that. But they've shown you time and time again that they're immature. They've shown you that they're not responsible. They don't care about being responsible. They don't care about doing the right thing the right way. They could care less. But yet you keep pouring into them because you keep telling them, well, I see the potential in you. I know your potential. I know what you can do.
But you're not God.
And they don't want it.
And here's the thing, if they don't see it, then they don't see it, and you can't force it. I think that's a lot of spent energy that you could be doing something for yourself. Yeah. And what brought up this topic is because this has been such a wow month, right?
It has for the Crenshaw clan. It's been a wild month.
Really wild month.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at people and I'm like, why? Like, I'm expecting you to be a certain way, right? Or expecting you to have some common sense to be a certain way, or I'm expecting you to know to do a certain thing.
Right.
As humans, as people, right? And that's where and then I get disappointed or angry because you're not doing what I expect you to do, or what I think you should be doing, or what I think you should know how to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
And so, but this is not the first time that you showed me this side of yourself, right? And I'm still trying, like, oh, nope, gonna give you another chance. No, I'm gonna give you another chance. So the frustration is, I'm not frustrated at them because they are being who they are. I'm frustrated at me waiting for them to change, or think they're going to change, or think that they are going to do something different when they're not. This is a thing that I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was a rapper. Somebody was like, if a snake is going to be a snake, if you get bit by a snake, don't get mad. A snake is doing what snakes do.
Right.
Right. And so sometimes we have to understand that people do what they do. Respect them right where they are. Don't try to make them be anything that they're not. Respect them enough to go, this is where you are. You're on this level, right? This is the level you're on. I may be on this level, and maybe the level that you want works for you.
The scorpion and the frog.
Right. And it's okay for you. And so, but what I'm not going to do is aggravate myself, which is normally what people do, aggravate themselves because they think that the person should change, or why are they acting that way when they've been acting this way the entire time, but you just didn't want to acknowledge it for what it was. Right.
Are you familiar with the story, the scorpion and the frog?
No, tell me.
So the scorpion and the frog. So there's a frog on a riverbank. The scorpion walks up to the frog, and the scorpion says to the frog, hey, would you mind giving me, because scorpions can't swim, would you mind giving me a lift across the river to get to the other side? The frog says, no. Why would I do that? You're a scorpion. You're going to sting me. He said, no, I promise I won't. I'm not going to do that. He said, no, you're a scorpion. He said, we're going to get out there. You're going to sting me, and we're both going to die.
Wow.
The scorpion said, no, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? Why would I risk my life? Why would I risk your life? I'm not going to do that. Come on, give me a ride. So after a few minutes of the argument, the frog relents. And so the frog lets the scorpion get on his back, and they start swimming across the river. Halfway across, The scorpion stings the frog, and as they're both drowning, the frog turns to the scorpion and says, "Why did you sting me?" The scorpion said, "I'm a scorpion. That's what we do." Mm-hmm. They both die. Mm-hmm. The moral of the story is, a person's nature is who they are. It's who they are. Mm-hmm. Can a person's nature change? Yes. Mm-hmm. But the core essence of who you are, it's who you are. Mm-hmm. And for that to change, for someone to truly change their core essence, there is nothing that you can do
exactly
to change their core essence.
Right.
It has to be, it is a partnership, but it's not a partnership with you.
Right. It's not supposed to be them and God.
It is a partnership between them and God. Mm-hmm. God is the only person that can change a person's true nature.
Right. Exactly.
And here's the kicker with that. Even with God, a person want to have to change
right.
their core nature.
He's not going to force,
because God is not going to, even though he could, but he's a God of free will. Mm-hmm. So he's not going to force anyone to change their core nature.
Right.
And why do we say all this? And where are we going with this conversation? There's some family members that have people in their lives mm-hmm. that are emotional vampires.
Yeah.
They are draining the life force out of them. Mm-hmm. And they're doing it because we look at them and say, well, I know you can do better. I know you can be better. I know you can move forward. I know you can do this. I know you can do that. So I'm just going to keep pouring and pouring and pouring into you.
Until I'm empty.
Mm-hmm. Even though every time I pour into you, every time I give you a chance to show me that you can be better, that you can do better, mm-hmm. you choose not to.
Yeah.
You make a conscious decision to do the opposite of what you need to do.
Right. And I think another thing when we're discussing this is because some family members out there need to have a release. Release yourself from that.
Right.
Release yourself from feeling that this person or this other person keeps doing the same thing over and over again. So do you. Release it. This is where they are right now. Like Sanchez said, people can change. They can be different. But right now in this season, that is where they are. And you have got to respect it, because right now you're pouring so much into a hamper or a laundry basket with holes. And right now, by the time you finish, you are fully empty, aggravated, frustrated, and mad. And at them, when really it should be you, because they've always showed you who they were. And it's time for you to just stop and let them do them and continue to do you, which doesn't mean you have to stop speaking to them or not being around them. Just know that what you're looking for them to give you, they cannot.
Right.
And respect that.
And it means that you have to redefine your boundaries.
Exactly.
The older I get, one of the phrases that I find myself using that my wife absolutely despises.
If you say it, ugh.
I'm at that age.
You ain't at no age. I rebuke that.
That's my favorite line right now. I'm at that age.
Man, listen, you young.
But here's the thing. But see, I think you take it in the wrong context.
I know how you saying it, but I like to say it the way I like to see it.
But here's the thing, though. The older I get, there's one particular word and the concept of this word that the older I get, the more I despise it. And that word is labels. Mm-hmm. And I'm using another word for that, titles. Mm-hmm. Labels / titles will kill you, will kill a person. Mm-hmm. Mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Mm-hmm. Because we look at someone that has a certain title with us or a certain label, whether that title is mother, father, brother, best friend, cousin. And we think because they wear this certain title or have this certain label that they should act a certain way.
Or treat you a certain way.
They should treat me a certain way. They should hold me in a certain regard because we share a title or we have this title. When that is so not the case.
So far from the truth.
When the crazy part is that if that same person that treated you the same way or did the same things to you, if you remove that title from them, you would have nothing to do with that person. If the person that was verbally abusive to you, mentally abusive to you, a user, if they did not have the title of mama or mother, brother,
auntie,
you wouldn't even deal with that person.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
But the only reason you feel obligated to deal with this person is because they have a certain title in your life.
Right.
So what I would say is we need to go through our closet and start cutting some tags and removing some labels. And then once we remove the label, let's re-examine to see, is this person still worthy enough to take the energy from me that they're taking?
Right. Just totally zapping your energy from you. And let me say this. Let me backtrack. They're not taking it. You're willingly giving
it away. Yeah,
it away. You're willing giving it away. And again, this is because we felt like there's somebody out there right now. Family was like, I am drained. I am tired. I'm tired of saying the same thing over and over again to this person. I don't know what to do. I'm at my ends with. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. There's nothing. If you're at your ends with, then there's nothing that you can do but save yourself, right? And again, it doesn't mean you have to cut someone off or stop talking to them, but your boundaries have to be, this is as far as we could go. Yeah. This is as far as me and you can go. And everything else you do you. Whatever, if you love it, I love it too. If you like it, I like it too, right? And let them do what they need to do, because it's taken a lot out of you and your time and your mind and your emotions and all of that stuff. And again, we get so angry, but the person that we're really mad with is ourselves, because we keep putting ourselves in that position or in that predicament.
Not wanting to believe what the person is telling us. When the person they're being as honest with you as they can be, and they're being as honest with you by their actions. This is who they are. Yeah. Not saying that down the line they may not be somebody different, like you said. But in this season, right now, this is who they are. But we want to fight people on their truth.
Ain't that crazy?
Which is crazy.
Why are we fighting people on their truth?
If that right now is your truth, then that's your truth. See, that's the thing. That is the truth. There are things that are undeniably true. But then, unfortunately, within how we're built, each individual has his truth. Yeah. Because and how that works is that two people can go through the exact same situation at the exact same time.
House, same parents.
Two siblings in the same house at the same time, being raised by the same parent, come out with two different experiences.
Yes, absolutely.
Your truth and my truth, totally different, even though we were in the exact same situation. But I want to tell you, but I don't want to believe your truth. I want to tell you that your truth is a lie.
Right, because we think we know better.
Because I think I know better.
And parents, chill out. Chill out as these kids get older. Chill out. I know you want to protect them and keep them and save them, and you think you know better, but let them go the way that they need to go for right now. Yeah. Let them go the way they need to go for right now, and let God handle what he needs to handle for them and through them and with them. And I think sometimes even with that, we get frustrated. Like our children, we raise them. They should know, because we say it.
Yeah, you should know better.
You should know better. You didn't come from a household that did this. I didn't raise you. I didn't raise you like
parents
this.
I didn't raise you that way.
Right. And you get so frustrated and aggravated as they get older, and they're doing a whole detour to what you taught them or raised them. And it's okay. If that's where they are right now, they've shown you who they are right now. Let them be that. Yeah. Let them be that.
Here's the thing. And we get it. We misunderstand it. I'm going to come back to something in a minute. But we misunderstand it. A lot of the times we always say, I've done everything I can do. Now all I can do is pray. Because I've exhausted all my other resources. All my energy. I've exhausted my energy. So now that I've exhausted all my energy, so now I'm going to pray. Yeah. And that's so backwards. Prayer comes first. Yeah. Prayer is first. Before you exhaust any energy, before you do anything, prayer is first. Yeah. And then once you pray, because that's a conversation, you have that conversation, and then you stop, and then you listen.
Be patient.
And then you move from what you hear. But we're so busy wanting to do it. We want to do it backwards. We want to try to fix it and we want to try to fix the person, and I know what's best for you. So I want to guide you and tell you what's best.
Say that thing again. I know what's best for you.
There's a lot of I statements in there. And so I know what's best. So I want to do this and I want to do that. And that goes back to what I said, because sometimes our motives are selfish motives.
Yeah.
Because I know best. You should listen to me because I know best.
Right.
And now once again, so we're expelling all this energy into this person, and we're pouring and pouring when the person is telling you, right now, I don't care what you're saying.
Right. Right now, you're pouring into a cup, and the person that you pour in the cup is actually dumping what you're pouring out of the cup.
Not even so much as that. You pouring into you remember your styrofoam cup and you cut the bottom out of it? So now you pouring into a cup with no bottom. Yeah.
But see, the reason why I said that you pour into a cup, and when you pour into it, they're pouring it out, because sometimes it's so indignant.
This is true.
It is
they just blatantly showing you who they are.
Very indignant with it, and you're still pouring, and then once that cup is full from you, they pour it out.
Yeah.
To let you know whatever you've given, whatever you said, whatever you felt was not important in this season. And again, we're gonna keep saying this season because people change and they can change. But right now in this season, what you're trying to give me, I don't need and I don't want. And when they tell you and they keep showing you that time and time again and keep pouring the cup out, and you keep getting emptier and emptier, you need to go, okay, this is where you are in this season. Let me leave you there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else for me to say.
And for the families, like, that's all well and good, but y'all some hypocrites, and y'all want me to turn my back on my family, and y'all want me to do this. That's not what we're saying.
No.
Because here's the thing. I can still deal with you. I can still be with you. I can spend time with you, and not allow you to zap my energy.
Right.
I think it was it Lisa Turkis? I think it was Lisa Turkis that did the
yes.
Yeah. So she was talking about basically, I'm paraphrasing. It was energy matching. Think of it like this, family. So your energy goes from 0 to 10. 10 is the highest. Okay. And everybody you encounter, and I'm so paraphrasing what she said. This is just kind of the gist.
Yeah.
But so your energy is from 0 to 10. 10 is the highest. 0, you have nothing left. You just need a nap. 10, you ready to run a marathon. 0, you just need a nap.
You don't even get out of bed.
You don't even get out of bed.
You just stay.
You just stay. Everyone you encounter, they take a different level of your energy. So whether it's a 1 or 2, whatever. So what you have to do is you have to start siphoning out your energy and deciding what level of energy do you want this person to take. Because there's some people in my life that I love, that I absolutely adore, and I will spend time with, but they don't get any more than a 2 from me.
Because they're giving out 2s.
Yeah, because they're giving out 2s.
Right.
So I'm a believer in matching energy.
Right. Exactly.
I'm gonna match your energy.
Well, I'm gonna give you a level 5 if you've only given me a level 2.
You're only giving me a 2.
I gotta drop 3 notches down to deal with what we're talking about, or the season that you're in. No.
You know how exhausting that is?
That's exhausting. That's exhausting.
That is exhausting. So now, now I got to drop, in a lot of the times, the energy that I'm bringing to a situation, I'm bringing a 7 or an 8. And you bringing a 2.
So I'm going to match your 2.
So you know how far I got to go, how much I got to deplete myself to get to where you are, to get to your energy?
No.
For you never even to attempt to raise your energy level. So now you a 2, I'm a 2. I'm depleted. I ain't got nothing else. And you done went on with your happy little life.
I'm just happy.
Because you're happy at a 2.
And that's where we have to respect people at. We have to respect people. If a 2 is where they are right now, respect it. Yes, you want more for them. Yes, you're praying for them. But right now, if that's their season, respect the 2 season. Right now, if I'm at a 7 and you at a 2, dag nabbit, you at a 2 and I'm at a 7. So therefore, I'm not going to bring you 7 energy.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you 2 energy. because there's no need of me giving you 7 energy, because you right now you're not ready for 7 energy. So I see you, I look at you, you at 2 energy. So whatever 2 energy is for me is what the energy I'm going to give you where you are for your 2. I'm not going to bring 7 because 7 is too hot and heavy for you right now and you can't handle it, and I'm going to get frustrated because you don't understand my energy, my 7 energy. Why is it so hype? Why you want this and why you want that? Yeah. So it's best if this is where you are, I'm going to give you this energy right now.
Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone.
I was serious about that one.
Yeah, you were dead serious about that one. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is just let them know you're there for them.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
The best thing that my biological mother ever did for me was let me sit in jail. That was the best thing she ever did for me. I think I've told the story before. I don't know, maybe not. So in my younger life, I was not as law-abiding of a citizen as I should have been.
But you are now.
Yeah, I am now.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. So I made some really bad decisions in my younger life, and I did some things that I'm not necessarily proud of, but it defined the road and it defined who I am. And I got into a situation that I had to sit as my son would say, I had to sit on a bench. So I had to sit on the bench for a while.
Bench warmer.
Yeah. I played the game in all the wrong ways. And so I had to sit on the bench. She could have got me out. She could have done some things and made some moves and made some calls and made some things happen. And she could have got me out because I did have bail. I could have been bailed out. But she chose not to. She came to see me one time. She said that was the only time she was ever going to look at her son through a plexiglass. So she came to see me the one time, and she said, "You're going to sit this one out." And I did. And I sat out the whole time. And it was not the most pleasant of life to live. But it was the best thing for me because at that time in my life, the road I was heading on, I was either going to do a very long stint or I was going to be in a casket. And that's not hyperbole, because not too long before that, I had already been in a car chase. I had already been in a car chase from the police, and I had already had a few guns pulled on me. A couple of them that pulled the trigger, but that's another here nor there. But the best thing she ever did for me was she let me sit. She loved me. She was there for me. She didn't turn away from me. She didn't turn her back on me. I was still her son, but she knew for that moment, for the road that I was on, that the best thing she could do for me was just to let me know I was there, that she was there for me. She prayed for me, and she just let me ride it out. Because sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to let people ride it out. And I know it hurts.
Yeah.
Because it goes back to those labels. Yeah. It goes back to those titles. It goes back to but this is my child. This is my wife. This is my husband. This is my friend. How can when I know my friend is hurting, or if I know, I know my friend is in a bad way, if I know my friend is making bad decisions, as someone who loves them, how can I? Because sometimes in a situation like that, you're more of a hindrance.
Yeah, I was about to say that. A huge hindrance.
Yeah, because if I know that no matter what decision I make, that I always have somebody who's going to bail me out. If I know that there's never any true consequences to my actions, if I know that I may be inconvenienced, but I'll never have to suffer, then what incentives do I have to make a change at that point? What incentives do I have to do something different, to make a better decision, to try something different? If I know that you're always going to be there to bail me out, you're always going to be there to fill me up to the detriment of yourself.
Right.
That makes sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I think when you're talking about Lisa Turkis,
I think we're pronouncing the name correctly.
I think it is. Yes, Turkis. Another thing that she said in that same sermon is she was saying, children explain, adults inform. That changed my life.
Right. Say it again for the people in the back.
Yes. Children explain things, adults inform. Right. And I think what we need to understand, too, is we are so busy explaining to the person why we want them to change or why we want something for them versus informing them when you are ready. I'm here for you.
Right.
But I'm not going to go down with the reason why and explain to you why I'm trying to help you, explain to you why you make me feel the way you do. Doing a whole bunch of explaining. And here's the thing. We're not talking about a situation where you get into an argument with somebody one time and you explain and y'all talking. We're not talking about that. We're talking about that this is time and time again that we are saving or talking or trying to assist someone in a way that they don't want to be assisted right now.
Yeah.
And so if I got to explain while I'm helping you this entire time, more than one time and over the period of time, no. At this point, I'm an adult. Let me inform you that this season for me is over, and I respect you and I love you and I'm available to you when you need me, but I'm not going to force myself on you. Or because I even see people now, and again, this has been a weird month for us, well, people are forcing themselves to help people.
Yeah.
Like how do I have to force you need help. So I'm forcing myself to help you, right? And you're still pushing away, but I'm still forcing you. You have to be like, no, I'm available. If anything that you need, let me know. I'm here for you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up and I'm going to respect you as an adult because I'm an adult and this is the season that you're in. I'm not going to keep explaining to you why I'm trying to help you or explain to you why this would not be good for you. We're both adults. Because you've been informing me from the beginning that this is who you are and what you want.
Right now, this is who you choose to be.
Right. And I'm your child, right? Trying to explain to you why this wouldn't be good for you.
Right.
Versus being an adult and going, I respect it. Right. So when she said that stopped me from doing that sermon right there, just that little bit stopped me from doing a lot of things, me personally, that I was doing in reference to explain to people. And we do it all the time. And we do stuff like explaining stuff that don't even need to be explained.
No.
Like it's so funny, like at jobs, you'll be like, I'm not coming in today. There are people who say, I won't be into work today, and that's it. They're done.
Period.
And then there's people like,
that's
I won't be. That's the sentence. But then there's people who'll be like, I'm not coming to work today because I have 2 doctor's appointments and a dentist and this and that and the other. No. In actuality, you don't have to do any of that. I'm not coming in today is all that needs to be said, right? That's the
end of the sentence.
That's the end of the sentence. But we have a tendency of wanting to explain ourselves about everything. And that's where we need to just be like, no, I'm an adult. I'm informing you. This is where I am. I'm informing you what I can do for you. I'm informing you all that I'm going to do for you. I'm informing you that I love you and I'm here for you and I care about you. And then let it go.
Yeah. And also, don't misunderstand. It's not condoning the behavior.
Right.
Because you decide to not try to fix the behavior, that doesn't mean that you condone it.
Right.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Right.
Because I can not agree with your behavior. I can not agree with your lifestyle. I can not agree with the decisions you make, but also not try to fix it.
Right.
I can do that.
It's okay.
Yeah, because I don't try to fix it. It doesn't mean that I condone it. It doesn't mean that I agree. It doesn't mean that I'm being complicit in your behavior. No, it just means that I choose to set a boundary that because you've already shown me right now that you don't want to do anything different.
Right.
Anybody who's listened to the show for any period of time know that I'm an analogy person. And one of my favorite analogies to use, especially in a situation like this, is the drowning person. Because what happens is, if you've ever seen a person who's drowning, they're fighting. They fight to stay above water.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times what happens is that when a person swims out to try to save that person, if the person is too panicked, then they're still fighting and they're bringing both down with them. So they're going down and then they're also bringing down the person that's trying to save them. At some point, you have to make a decision. So at some point, you have to, self-preservation has to kick in.
Yeah.
And you got to say, I can't save you.
Yeah.
and you have to let go.
Right.
Because what happens is you're so busy trying to save them that you don't realize you're drowning.
You're drowning.
So now their head is above water. Your head is beneath water.
You're gargling.
Because they're using you
as the ladder.
They're using you as the flotation device. So as their head is above, you're below, and you're trying to figure out how did you get there. Now you're taking in water. Now you're fighting for air, and they're fine because you didn't know when to cut loose. And once again, we're not saying, so please don't misunderstand, because no, I would never tell you that you have that sibling that's going through some things that makes bad decisions, that's not quite right. I'm not saying to totally turn your back on them and cut them loose and no, that's not what we're saying at all. But what we are saying is that at some point in time, you have to believe what they're saying. This is the person that in this stage of their life that they are right now.
Right, in this season.
Doesn't mean that it won't change. But right now, this is the person that they are. And they keep telling you this, and they keep showing you this. And they're showing you by their actions, and they're showing you by every time that you offer a hand, they slap it away, metaphorically, sometimes physically.
Yeah.
You know, and every time you extend yourself, they move back further. Every time you expel energy, you have to double your energy because nothing is changing with their behavior.
Yep.
So at some point, you just have to stop
and
respect it and say, okay, this is who you are right now. I respect it. And like my beautiful wife said, and just, you don't owe them an explanation. I don't agree, but I'm here. When you decide to do something different, when you decide to make a change, when you decide that this life is not working for you anymore, I'll be here.
Yeah.
But until then, I can't keep pouring into you, depleting myself and losing myself in this.
Yeah. And also remember, and don't get angry at them because of the choices that you're making. You're choosing to pour into them. You're choosing to continue to go down that road after they keep showing you and telling you that this is not who they are and this is not what they want. So you can't get upset when they've been showing you and telling you, whether it's verbally, mentally, spiritually, whatever the case is, that this is not what I want or this is not what I want to do. You cannot get mad at them if they keep continually showing you that and you're going, no, but you do. Or no, I'm going to help you. And it's not what they want. You cannot get mad at them. At this point, you're going to have to deal with the woman or the man in the mirror at that point.
Yeah.
And say to yourself, what keeps me to continue to go down this road with them when they are truly showing me that unfortunately at this season, again, because people change, we're going to keep saying that, at this season, this juncture of their lives, they don't need what you're trying to give. And then after you realize that, ask yourself, what is my motives?
Yeah.
What's making me push so hard to do this when they don't want it?
And you know what's crazy? Sometimes they don't even ask for it. Sometimes we get mad at them when they never even ask for our help.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we interjected ourselves into a situation.
Yeah.
And then they don't respond the way we think they should.
Yeah.
And then now we're upset with them or we're mad at them. Where if we step back for a moment and we re-examine the whole situation and we realize, you know what? You never even asked for my help.
Right.
You never even asked for me to be a part of the situation.
Right.
I decided to make myself a part of the situation.
Make myself available.
I decided that I knew what was best. So I'm going to fix this situation. But now, like I said, now they don't respond the way I think they should. They don't show the gratitude, but they never asked for it. And now I'm mad. And now my feelings are hurt. Now I'm upset.
Yeah.
Now I don't feel valued. When in all honesty, they never asked for my help to begin with.
Right. And the most hurtful thing is to do that and the person say to you, but I didn't ask you to do that for me. Like, because you can hear that all the time. You do something for someone and you be like, well, thank you. And they be like, I didn't even ask you to do that. So I'm trying to figure out why you got an attitude about something I didn't ask you to do. You did this on your own. That will make you go to jail. Seriously, that is where you are in handcuffs in the back of the police car. because in actuality they told the truth. And again, you're not mad at them, you're mad at yourself. But you figure, how dare they, I did it, so how dare you say that to me? Just say thank you. But not if you're gonna give off an attitude like you did something, like you came and was Captain Save, or you know what. So at that point, so you want to bring that up, and they like, but I didn't ask you to do that. So why are you looking for a thank you for that?
When I had my aha moment when it came to that situation.
Which kid did it to you?
Actually, it wasn't a kid. It was a total stranger.
Oh, okay. I'm
total
sorry.
Stranger.
Sorry, children. We love you.
No, I in a lot of ways I'm traditional in my thinking. Some would say old fashioned.
That's your grandparents.
That's my grandparents. From time to time, my wife would say a little chauvinistic. Depends on the day. I can't fight it.
Yeah,
I am who I am.
Ha ha ha.
But what happened was that so I was raised a certain way. Regardless, you open a door for a young lady. You pull out the chair for her when she sits down. Certain things you say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir.
Right.
And for a lot of the times, and people get mad, but it's not for you. I'm just showing you respect.
Right.
I'm just showing you respect.
Say it.
Whether you want it or not, I'm going to show you respect. But one day I was out in the wilderness, and I was out in the wilderness. And I was at some retail store, and a lady was walking up behind me. And so my instinct always, whenever I'm walking in with a lady or I'm walking ahead of her, I will stop. I'll open the door for her, and I'll let her go first. I'll open the door and let her go first. Typically, if you do that for somebody, they'll typically say thank you or whatever. But this lady never even acknowledged me. She never acknowledged me. She never even looked up. She just kept it pushing. She kept it pushing. And for a moment, I got mad. I was like, how rude can you be? It's like, you don't even say thank you? But then I had an epiphany. Sir, she never asked you to do that for her.
Right.
She didn't even know you.
Right.
She didn't ask you to open the door. You chose to open the door for her.
Right.
So whether she says thank you or not has nothing to do, because this action had nothing to do with her.
Exactly.
This interaction had nothing to do with her. You chose to stop. You chose to open the door. You chose to wait for her to go through. Had nothing to do with her. So why are you mad because she didn't acknowledge your action when she never even asked for the action?
Exactly. And also because what you think is this is common courtesy, but what's common to one person is not common to everybody else, right?
Common sense ain't common.
Exactly. So you, in your mind, when I hold the door, common sense says to say thank you. You didn't open it for yourself, and you be getting all like you hear I said that you ain't open it for yourself, so you know. But what happens is you don't know what was on that person's mind. Right, you did that as a courtesy. Whether she say, and we have to understand that too. When people show us who they are, and we do things for them, remind yourself that you're doing it as a courtesy, unless you have a motive.
Yeah,
it's because if you have a motive, that means you want something from them. You need something from them. But if it's a common courtesy, and of course you be like, they should say thank you. They should say. I mean, I've done things for people, and they just don't say thank you. And I used to get upset. Now I don't even get upset. I'm like, whatever. Because I know my motives are pure. I did what I needed to do.
Right.
And so I'm finished with it. So whether they say, it would be nice to say thank you, but that's not what I'm going out after. I'm going after fixing the problem, fixing the situation, or doing something that my heart told me to do and move on with my life.
Yeah.
So that's where I am with that.
Yeah. So you got that brother who a little immature, a little irresponsible, and you trying to help him with his maturity. You getting stuff done for him, and you doing applications because he's not working or whatever, or he needs a better job, and so you putting in applications for him, you calling, you doing this, you calling, doing that, and then you getting mad that he not even saying thank you, or he not even being grateful,
or acknowledging that you're doing
it. You doing
right,
it. But I asked the question: did he ask you to do it in the first place? Did he ask for your help, or you just said, well, I'm just going to take it upon myself to do? Okay, when you take it upon yourself to do it,
right,
then you're not looking for gratitude at that point.
Right.
At that point, you're not looking for acknowledgement, because once again, he never asked you to do it, and he never asked you to do it. Yep. So it goes back to kind of what we said in the beginning of this conversation. What are your motives? Why are you doing it?
Why are you doing it?
Is it selfish? Are you doing it to make yourself look better? Are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Why are you? Because you just have to be the savior of everybody?
Yeah.
So why are you doing it? What are your motives behind? Why don't you believe them? Once again, not saying that this is who they are forever, because we all change. We all grow. We all I'm hoping that you're different today than you were yesterday. You know, that's the goal. The goal is always to be a little different, you know, the day, you know, to today that I was yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, no.
Here's the flip side.
What's the flip side?
Holy Spirit. The flip side is if you're that reliable person that's already, then you show them that you're reliable all the time. Don't get mad when they call you all the time.
To be reliable. Yeah.
Because that's what you're showing them, right? And you don't have any boundaries. So we're not only talking about when someone needs you in an area, but we also talking about the fact that if you're a reliable person, or you're the person everybody call on, or you're the person who does all of that, and this is what you've been all the time, because this is what you showed them that who you are, so they're believing you in this method that you're the fixer or the negotiator or whatever they believe, because this is what you showed them. So when they call on you in these areas, or ask you or call and be like, can you do this, can you do that, don't get upset, because this is what you showed them, and you also haven't put boundaries on it, and you also haven't notified them that this part of your season of your life is over, if that makes sense, right? Because maybe that season, that's who you were in that season, but you've changed. But you can't get mad now when it flips on you and they like, well, just who you showed me who you are, so I'm gonna believe you, and I'm gonna use what you showed me, because I need it. I need what you have, right? So you can't get upset about that too, unless you put some boundaries on that. Does that make sense? You know, like sense. That's another side of it as well. So yeah.
No, I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah, it's been a month.
Yeah, it's been a month.
It's been a month, y'all.
The moral of the story is it's been a month for the Crenshaws.
It's been a month for the Crenshaws.
I know it's kind of an awkward ending, but do you have a final thought?
No, actually, just remember what she said. Children explain, adults inform. That's it. That's all I got. Changed my life. Changed me.
Mine is going to be, I'm going to quote Dr. Maya Angelou. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yes, Lord.
That really is my final thought.
Yeah.
Family. Like I said, this has been a little different episode.
It's a little different episode.
My wife was kind of a little shaky to start with. You know, she got it together though.
Jack and Rose.
I'm just saying. Jack and
Rose.
So she's a little shaky.
Did he scream her name or something?
Nah, he didn't scream her name.
Okay, cool.
But he could have lived. All she had to do was move over. That boy was big enough for both of them.
I'm not gonna do this.
But anyway, family, thank you for listening.
We love you guys so much.
However you're listening, whether it's on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or on our own personal website at www.thecrenshawcorner.com. As always, we consider ourselves an interactive podcast, which means we can be found on the socials. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all under the Crenshaw Corner. And of course, you can email us at any time at thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. Once again, thecrenshawcorner@gmail.com. And as always, family, welcome to our journey.
We love you guys. Bye.